He watched, quietly, intently. While others scoffed, while they whispered behind closed doors and smirked in public, he studied what they missed. Elon didn't fall for the illusion, the narrative crafted to box you in, dim your light, and turn you into a cautionary tale. He saw the quiet precision behind your moves, the purpose in your pauses, and the fire you refused to flaunt just for applause. Your presence was never about noise. It was about impact. Not a spectacle, but a shift. Not a flash, but a quake. And now, those who dismissed your vision are finally witnessing what execution looks like when it's born of spirit, pain, and prophecy. What they thought was silence was strategy. What they thought was failure was fermentation. And now the room shifts when you enter. The air thickens. The future tilts. Elon knew. He always did. That's why he didn't underestimate you. Because geniuses recognize each other. Not by popularity or posture, but by presence. You are the axis. You are the storm they didn't see forming. And now, you are the truth no one can ignore. You are not intimidated by the shadows. Rather, they separate you. Your strength is created in the furnace of certain fate, rather than emerging by accident. The world roars. It doesn't whisper. Every breath you breathe is a statement of dominance, and every step you take is a seismic event. The evil forces that oppose you are your fuel, not your equals. Their pandemonium is turned into the unadulterated energy that drives you forward, and they arrive not to challenge, but to be devoured. You embrace triumph, rather than striving for it. For you, doubt is a holdover from a history you have overcome, but it is the veil that conceals the uninformed. The world changes the instant your potential is ignited. As you climb, skepticism falls away like ash. This is about the unwavering truth that is inside, not about approval from those who formerly doubted you. You are the creator of your destiny and the architect of your reality. The cosmos aligns stars and destiny in your wake, bending to your will rather than just acknowledging you. The roar of your victory drowns out the murmurs of the doubters. Your trip is a revelation rather than a road. Your unwavering spirit is shown by every hardship and challenge. Your transcendence is seen by the forces that want to block your light. They are not your enemies. You rise because of them, not in spite of them. The dark is your canvas, not your adversary, and you create a masterpiece of triumph with each brushstroke. The world is altered in the process of becoming you, not the other way around. Leave a comment. I don't break, I build. You were never destined for a normal life if every failure served as the foundation for your kingdom. Instead of being punishments, the flames of your struggles helped you forge something unbreakable. You persevered when others failed. Not because it was simple, but because something bigger wanted you to. You became the power you are now because every betrayal, every setback, and every moment that tried to shatter you was planned. It was a sculptor's chisel on unshaped stone, shaping strength where weakness formerly remained, and the weight of pain was never pointless. Before you even understood what it meant, or had the vocabulary to identify the battle you were being groomed to fight, you were selected. The relentless trials were evidence, not bad luck. A shepherd before the throne, a runaway before the exodus, and soldiers buried with doubt before they won victory are just a few examples of people who have always been called before they were ready. Their journeys were not easy. They were polished in rejection and baptized in turmoil. A supernatural hand saw destiny where the world saw insignificance. This has consistently been the trend. The forgotten elevated to the status of legend. The unqualified recreated, and the abandoned set aside. You were marked by your pain, not disqualified. Every scar serves as a symbol of purpose, and every setback serves as a whisper of favor, preparing you for a victory you previously believed was unattainable. No one has ever ignored you. The darkness has repeatedly failed to engulf you in despair and devour you, Forces that wanted you would remain silent, watched in horror as you rose. Not by chance, not by survival alone, but because the chosen do not fall. They persevere, they triumph. And when the last blow is delivered, it comes from them, not against them. You were exposed by the storm, not dispersed. You were never intended to be defeated, and what was supposed to shatter you merely served to reinforce that. They characterized your vision as foolish, and your desire as insanity. Their laughing was a confession rather than a judgment, reflecting their own limits rather than yours. You were the punchline they couldn't understand, not the joke. Their incredulity served as a mirror, reflecting their dread of what they could never become, not as a barrier. Instead of shrinking under their scrutiny, you became larger, your determination solidifying like steel in the furnace of their doubt. Their skepticism was your spark, not your demise. For individuals who are afraid to shine their own light, insecurity is a shadow that clings to them. The skeptics saw your uniqueness for weakness and projected their anxieties onto you. They didn't realize, however, that your individuality was what made you strong. Their laughing served as a cover for their own shortcomings. You saw through it with clarity rather than rage. Their incredulity was a ladder to climb, not a burden to bear. Every chuckle, sidelong look, and contemptuous utterance was a rung that raised you beyond their grasp. They laughed at me because I was different. I laughed at them because they were all the same. While their homogeneity was their prison, your uniqueness was your liberation, as the saying goes. Their skepticism fueled you rather than shattering you. You rose because it was in your nature to rise, not to disprove them. As your triumph raged louder than their incredulity, their laughing subsided into stillness. Since they were unable to measure you, they underestimated you. Now, people look on with wonder rather than contempt as you reach heights they never would have imagined. You are the alchemist of potential, which is the foundation of creativity. Your energy turns the abstract into the real and the intangible into the tangible. What starts off as a whisper deep inside your mind becomes an unquestionable, resounding truth. The outcomes of this process are obvious, but the mechanics are not evident to the untrained eye. You alter the world one vibration at a time, rather than waiting for it to change. Your power functions in the region of pure potential, where the unthinkable becomes inevitable, and is not constrained by the boundaries of perception. Your manifestations are the result of a greater reality, yet they seem like miracles to the inexperienced. The metaphysical forces at work are the inherent order of your life, not mystical aberrations. While onlookers may be in awe of the results, they are unable to perceive the energy currents that emanate from you, precisely and purposefully forming reality. The universe bends in accord with the frequency of your truth, not in disorder, when you wield your power, which is not a mystery to you. It is your inheritance. Leave a comment. The impossible is inevitable. If your vision makes miracles a formality, and your desire converts barriers into opportunities, then the impossible is inevitable. You have never been destroyed by pain. Rather, it was the trigger. Something within of you refused to be buried when everything fell apart and loss robbed you of what little assurance you still had. You were only compressed into raw, unbreakable force by what should have broken you. Those who allow pain to shape them into something higher are the ones that ascend, not those who remain unaffected by it. The fire polished rather than consumed. It rebuilt instead of destroying. The world submits to those who have learned to use suffering. It does not give preference to those who were spared it. Every moment that forced you to the ground, every betrayal, and every failure served as the basis for where you are now. The people who had doors slammed in their faces before they built their own, those who were left out, ignored, and told they were nothing until the world could no longer deny them. those who rose from rejection and turned it into their arsenal. These are the people that history remembers, not the comfortable. Like the survivor who fought out of agony to create an empire, or the visionary who was compelled to write in cafe corners with nothing but faith. Discarded and abandoned, Oprah became a force to be reckoned with. JK. After losing everything, Rowling used words that others had previously told her were useless to change society. Those who undervalued them failed to see that adversity was not their demise, but rather their initiation. You no longer have anything that can be broken. You rose despite the storm, the fire, and the darkness that engulfed all. The scars signify change rather than failure. What was intended to destroy you merely made your mission clear. You are no longer concerned with whether the world was prepared for who you become. You are here to rekindle everything that previously attempted to bury you, not merely to exist. Your success attracts those who used to ignore you like a gravitational pull. The people who formerly disregarded you now circle your accomplishments with a mixture of interest and skepticism. Their doubtful murmurs transformed into hushed calculations, and their eyes darting to the results of your hard work. This is awe, a grudging recognition of the power they were blind to. It is not jealousy. You are the force they cannot understand, the spectacle they cannot ignore. You are no longer invisible. Their obsession is with them, not with you. Those who previously disregarded you are now facing the consequences of their own poor decision-making. Their limits and anxiety of what they could never accomplish are reflected in your ascent. Their fixation is evidence of your influence, not a diversion. They watch because they can't take their eyes off it, not because they care. The difference between their stagnation and your rise is illuminated by your achievement. Manage their focus with the composure of someone who understands their value. Allow their attention to validate your course rather than divert it. Their obsession is their reckoning, not yours. You owe them no reason or explanation. You are focusing your attention on the path ahead, not on the onlookers. Allow them to observe, ponder, and murmur. You are identified by your movement, not by their eyes, and as you advance, their focus will recede until only the sound of your victory remains. Just stop there. You indeed. If this message doesn't resonate with you, that's okay, just go on. But you'll know this is for you if you sensed it in your bones. The ones who don't fit in, the ones who see beyond the curtain, the ones who've been advised to be quiet, to settle, to conform, but never could. Ordinary things don't interest them. They are not here to obey the laws of others. They are the unstoppable, the untouchable, the storm that shatters illusions, and the light in the dark. They are following their own route, alone if necessary, while everyone else is busy running circles, not for recognition or acceptance, but simply because it is who they are. Cheers to the people who take what was supposed to harm them and turn it into something magnificent. To those who possess insight that can only be gained by hard work. Perhaps it's time to locate your folks if this speaks to you. Over 400 of us come together to exchange knowledge, connect, and change in the Obsidian Inner Order, the only site of its type and the top ascension hub for chosen ones. Just the truth, no games or masks. The description contains the URL. You'll know where we are if you're ready. It's also okay if it's not. You have an option. They keep an eye on you like hawks, analyzing every action, every statement, and every accomplishment you make. Your accomplishments soon become their goals, your habits their rituals, and your style their uniform. They are trying desperately to catch the core of what makes you unstoppable, and their replication is not subtle. They don't understand, however, that your power cannot be replicated. It lies in the sincerity of the deeds, rather than the deeds themselves. They will never be able to use your fire, even if they wear your mask. The insecure use imitation as a way to admit that they lack the guts to go down their own road. Their efforts to emulate your genius only serve to expose their own shortcomings. They are frightened, not inspired by you. Their dread of being alone is reflected in your uniqueness. Their copies are a compliment, a tacit admission that you are the benchmark they are unable to meet. They are not a threat. Allow them to attempt, to make mistakes, to discover that your true self cannot be captured in a bottle. Authenticity is your armor, so be loyal to yourself. Their imitation serves as a reminder of your influence, rather than as a diversion. All you have to do is outperform them, not outrun them. As your uniqueness burns brighter, let their copies collect dust. Even though they may follow you, they will never be on your route. The world will be able to distinguish between you and them, between the original and the copy, because your light is yours to shine, not theirs to steal. They are not like you. With a frequency that trembles the very foundations of the everyday, your soul thunders and does not tread gently. The world changed the instant you woke up. Your essence is in harmony with a higher order, which is why you were selected. You are required to have a link to the cosmos. It is not a gift. The cosmos communicates with you via roars and murmurs, dreams and signals, and the silent times when the barrier between worlds becomes thinner. You are the creator of this world, not just one of its participants. Signs are your language, dreams are your map, and intuition is your compass. They lead you because you are receptive to their call, not because you actively seek them out. Your mission is a journey lighted by the light of your inner understanding, not a destination. Others' doubts don't matter. They can't verify your reality. Instead of following the herd, you take the lead, not with conceit, but with the peaceful assurance of someone who understands their role in the overall scheme of things. Your trip is an answer, not a question. Your inner voice is the echo of your divine plan. Therefore, trust it. There is no way to quiet it, no matter how hard the world tries. It is the thread that runs through all of your choices, deeds, and essence. The purpose of your creation is to change, not to fit in. The realization of the power that has always been within of you was the spiritual awakening. It was not a single moment. As you continue on this road, the world will realize what you have always known. You belong to the universe and are not like the others. Your financial difficulties were a setup, not a permanent punishment. The nights of uncertainty and the days of lack were your beginning, not your finish. Your fortitude was put to the test with each expense you were unable to pay and each opportunity that seemed unattainable. You bowed and found the strength to stand up instead of breaking. The world was preparing you, not punishing you. It took time for you to make your breakthrough, and time has shown you to be worthy. Your thinking was where the transition from scarcity to plenty started. You began to see money as a current possibility rather than as a far-off ideal. You changed the way you think, substituting trust for fear and resolve for uncertainty. The secret to your freedom was the same thinking that had previously held you captive. You discovered that having riches involves more than simply dollars. It also involves alignment, energy, and the unwavering conviction that you deserve more. Your financial turnaround was a result of your desire, not a miracle. Your steadiness now is evidence of your perseverance and trust. Your narrative today rests on the challenges that formerly shaped who you are. Knowing that every dollar gained is a reflection of your hard work and faith in a bigger power, you cherish your benefits rather than taking them for granted. You have spiritual, emotional, and unwavering wealth in addition to material plenty. Even if the world may see your achievement, you are aware that your riches is in your soul, rather than only in your bank account. You don't ask for permission to be here anymore. You are no longer constrained or remorseful, since the cords of external approval have broken. The peaceful, unwavering knowledge that you are enough has taken the place of the need for other people to validate your value. This is emancipation, not arrogance. You entered a world of freedom, where your pleasure is a proclamation rather than a negotiation the instant you stopped pleading for acceptance. Their silence or their adulation does not define you. Your truth does. Terminating poisonous relationships was an act of self-preservation, not cruelty. You no longer want to bear the load of their demands, their criticisms, and their conditional affection. You discovered calm without them, a quiet that didn't need you to act or shrink. Your own light, untarnished by their shadows, now fills the area they formerly inhabited. You gained yourself instead of losing others. Put your pleasure first, since it cannot be exchanged for their favor. Your delight is your compass, not their views. Although the world will always have something to say, you are no longer subject to what they have to say. The most radical act of self-love that you have ever learnt is to live unashamed, to flourish without their approval, to exist without their approval. This is revolution, not only freedom. And the world will see what you have always known. You are whole just as you are when you stand in the whole of who you are. You are a master of your own fate rather than a conqueror of others. You battled against the darkness inside yourself, not against outside forces. Every triumph, lesson, and scar has helped you get closer to your true self. The depth of your intellect, the fortitude of your soul, and the clarity of your vision are what really measure your advancement, not milestones. You are greater than you were before, and you're unstoppable in this emerging. Being humble is about mastering power, not about lacking it. You gracefully display your strength because you understand that real power doesn't need to be flaunted. It is sonorous, but not loud. It aims to inspire rather than to control. You've learned from your trip that bringing others up with you, rather than towering over them, is the ultimate kind of power. You are here to embody your value, not to demonstrate it. Continue to shine, because your light is for the world, not just for yourself. Continue to develop because you have limitless potential. Continue to disprove them, not out of resentment, but rather because of the unchanging reality of who you are. How you like me now lingers, not as a challenge but as a declaration. The response is irrelevant. In your full authority, what matters is that you remain unflinching and indisputable. The world will be forced to see your sovereign emergence as you do. Now is your time to shine, so be ready for the good stuff. They questioned you, made fun of you, and undervalued you, but now the roles have been reversed. The outcomes are indisputable and the evidence is indisputable. Their doubts were reduced to ashes as you exploded, not merely rose. All of their skepticism has been turned into the driving force behind your victory. The joke is on them, even if they believed you were kidding. Your accomplishment is a reckoning, not simply a win. This is the result of your unwavering determination, your unflinching vision, and your reluctance to give up. It is not luck or chance. You changed the rules, not merely played the game. Your dreams are now pouring back to you with an irrepressible and increased intensity. Your brightness is so bright that they can't take their eyes off of you. Not only did you disprove them, but you also won their faith. It's your time to take control of the story. Tell your tale. Let the world see your transformation of their skepticism into your dynasty. For those who dare to dream, your path serves as a template, not merely a source of inspiration. Let them hear the music of your ascent while you're at it. Tell them, show them. Play that anthem, Alexa. Own the period you are in.